Hello, BookTube. I wanted to alert you now that I'm back on BookTube to an upcoming November BookTube event. Of course, the big event in November on BookTube is Nonfiction November, where you are urged to read lots and lots and lots of nonfiction. You used to be urged for 10 years to do that by Olive at a Book Olive, but Olive has let Nonfiction November loose into the world. So as far as I know, she won't be hosting it this year or coming up with her wonderful prompts, but that doesn't leave you off the hook. All of you who, like for instance, all of you who were converted to the wonders of nonfiction through Nonfiction November, well, you'll all be there to testify to newcomers that there's a lot of good stuff out there. So that's a big one. That's huge. But there's also a scrappy little BookTube event. I think it's on its third year now, called Dr. November, created by Mark at Book Time with Elvis, all about espionage literature, fiction and nonfiction. We read about spies and intelligence operatives of all kinds, and it's terrific. It's lots and lots of fun. We've actually added some great co-hosts this year. I'll leave a link to everything you need to know down below, and if I remember, I'll leave a link to Mark's announcement video. There's a Discord that you can join to discuss our group read in November, which will not be a burden on you. In terms of page length, it's The Quiet American by Greene, and it's not a long novel. And it doesn't really have any dull spots, so you will be pulled along. And this is our group read. There's going to be a Discord discussion where you can just chime in. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Get me acquainted with Discord and figure out how I should use it in the way I like it was on my list of things for David Murphy to do that he didn't get around to. He got around to a lot of things, but never that. So I used to have a Discord, and I didn't like the app at all. And now maybe that was because I was thinking of hosting a Discord server, but maybe just chiming in on one I wouldn't mind so much. So now I need to go through that all on my own, find out how to join the Discord server so that I can join in the discussions of this book. This is our group read for Dr. November, a 1955 novel by Greene about seedy quasi-journalist, quasi-diplomat in Vietnam at a fraught time with, dealing with the explosive after effects of French colonialization and before the Vietnam War. And it struck me as a confusing pick. I don't try to be trouble when I'm a co-host on an event, but there's no espionage in this book. There's all sorts of skullduggery. There's all sorts of operatives facing off against each other, but I wouldn't ever have picked this as a collective read along for an event about espionage, especially since this author wrote half a dozen books that are explicitly espionage, and that would have made more natural choices. And maybe I would have been a little bit more stiff-necked about that before I reread this. But I couldn't wait for Dr. November, so I reread this in early October for the first time in a long time. I'm not a huge fan of Greene, or at least I wasn't, and now I don't know about that anymore, because I loved it. I had all sorts of issues with it, but I loved it. What fun it would be. I hope every year and every event that I'm ever part of, I'm hoping that somehow we can get all of the coast together on one video where we all talk about this book together. I would love that. But I'm going to be talking about it like crazy anyway in the month of November, whether that happens or not. That always seems to not happen. People say it's their schedules, but I think it's that I smell. But anyway, whether this is an espionage novel or not, it radically undercut a lot of my very complacent assumptions about what I thought about Greene and forced me back to a lot of his other novels. In fact, I just this morning finished The Confidential Agent, which very much is an espionage novel, and which was terrific. So what's going on here? what's going on here? Dr. November is already causing trouble for me. But in addition to this, an insurgent little intelligence cell of its own has developed in the ranks of Dr. November, because a lot of co-hosts are remembering a previous group read, which was The Spy Who Came In From the Cold by John le Carré, and kind of wanting to read that, which is even shorter than this. So, you have options. If you join that Discord server, probably both books will get discussed. The upheaval here that's going on with me, with all the Greene reading that I'm doing, too late in the year for an upheaval, I might add. Naughty, naughty booktube. The upheaval that's going on is that if you had asked me 35 years ago, who's the better writer, John le Carré or Graham Greene, I would have unhesitatingly said it was John le Carré. And I did, and plenty of literary friends said, what? Graham Greene is a serious writer. John le Carré writes spy thrillers that you buy in the airport. I said, no, he doesn't. No, A, he doesn't write spy thrillers that are just that and nothing more, and Graham Greene is not good. He's syrupy and self-indulgent and too cryptic for his own good, and also boringly autobiographical a large amount of the time. And some of those literary conversations went on into the wee small hours before my guests hit the wall. You all hit walls. Some of them went on into the wee small hours of people pointing out to me how autobiographical John le Carré can be, but it didn't matter. I think it's so much lazier. I thought it was so much lazier in Graham Greene. And now if you would ask me which author is better, I don't know what I'd say. This is the danger of BookTube. So I'm very happy that we're reading this. My quibbles about its espionage bona fides notwithstanding, I'm very happy that we're reading this. I can't wait for you to read it too, just to find out what you think about it. This is one of those books where you can have 10 different opinions that are all valid, and maybe one will change the other's mind. I'm looking forward to talking all about this, but the opportunities for your TBR for November, for Dr. November, are unbelievably vast. The body of literature that's out there. I thought that I had a complete plan for my TBR for November, which was to reread in loving detail all the spy novels of Helen McGinnis. I read a couple of them. I read Agent in Place, her most famous one, and I read North from Rome. Agent in Place was a reread. I'm pretty sure that North from Rome was a reread too. I didn't think so at first till I got the conclusion. Then I got the conclusion, I thought, oh yeah, you've read this before. But I think there are plenty of Helen McGinnis spy novels out there that I haven't read. And that was originally going to be my idea, and it seemed so neat and clean. And now I'm thinking, now you have to read all the espionage stuff by Graham Greene. And who knows if that won't dump you into rereading all of Graham Greene and re-estimating him completely. And what if when I'm done with that, I have to go back to the gigantic 3-volume Sherry biography of Graham Greene and reread that? When I was done with that 3rd volume, I thought, no wonder this killed the author. This almost killed me. But what if I have to go back to that? What if I have to find that huge, what was it, from like 30 years ago, that huge collection of the letters of Graham Greene? I don't want to think about it. The things we do when we let BookTube into our lives. But in the meantime, I'm making Dr. November sound all scary. That's the best kind of scary. Having your reading certitude upended when you're as self-satisfied as I am is the best kind of scary. It's giving me a new author. What could be a better present than that? So that's our buddy read for Dr. November, but you can read anything. You don't have to join in the buddy read. You could show up in the Discord just to listen or to put in your 2 cents worth about other things that come up. If, for instance, you've read The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, but not The Quiet American, and you don't have any intention of reading The Quiet American, there'll still be plenty to talk about. We're going to have a lot of fun, and there are a lot of other spy novels that you can read. Oh, my God. So I don't have a settled TBR video to make. Other people are going to be making their TBR videos in the upcoming few days because, like everyone else in the entire country, all of us have been caught off guard by the fact that November is just a few days away. Me included. I've had a guest. We haven't paid any attention to the outside world. So that's another November event for you, Dr. November. Please join us and have some fun. But remember, use an assumed name. Anyway, I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.